Aloha, my name is Twinkle Borge, leader of Pu'uhonua O Wai'anae. Been here since October 2003 and still here. Never knew how big this mission was and never knew where we'd actually be at today. Becoming a community within a community. I remember when I first came to this place, had about only 7 of us. You know, I guess for me, when I came here, it was like you would say, love at first sight. I've been to other areas which I wasn't comfortable in. I found myself more in chaos than anything, but when I found this place, it was welcoming. It was already home for me. You know, I never thought what I was doing was something that huge. Yeah, I always knew how to take care of people. I always knew how to help and just listen, but I never knew how much of a big impact that was to others. Being here in the harbor wasn't easy. I mean, I remember when this never exists. This never come into play maybe about until 9 years ago that we started building out in the front. The first set of kids that came, we had about 38 kids that came in, and in my head was, what the hell is going on? I understand as adults we make mistakes, but your kids should never pay for it. During that time while the kids was coming, I was already getting myself clean and sober. And I had feared that these kids would be alone. Where would their parents be? And in somewhat, it kind of came true. Where was the parents? I remember when I used to walk around and I used to see the kids, and I used to ask them, like, where are your parents? When they didn't come back yet, okay, if you guys hungry, come to my place. I said, we can sit down, we can have dinner. You know, and I really never knew what I was setting myself up for. I set up myself so good that I ended up having 16 of the kids living with me, which I put through school, have a talk with the parents, let them know, hey, you go do you, let me work on your kids. I think I was very fortunate, you know, to actually raise money to buy a land, 20 acres. I never thought that we'll get where we are today. It's huge. It's, to me, a blessing, but it's hard work. It takes a lot out of you, you know. I have 2 kids now that I'm guardianship over. Hopefully, I get the papers done with having to adopt them, besides having one mission. I don't care how much money we raised, where we at. The hardest mission is yet to come. It's convincing these guys that they have a forever home. We've been living like this for years. Me for over 2 decades. I never thought I would find myself out of here. I never thought I would find myself into one home. I never thought I would find myself, you know, any place else but here, but we have a 20-acre land. How's that? It took me a year to get used to that. When it rains, you're right. Here, when it rains, you better be up. I'm glad where we are today, that we're actually making big moves, and I hope that we can be a blueprint for others out there to help encourage them. You know, that if we gotta find our own solution, because nobody gonna save us, then I hope that we can inspire the next. I hope that we can put hands on and work with them and just walk with them and to see where things will fall into place. You know, I hope even for the houseless community that they keep their heads up and they watch what others do. I hope that they can respect the people besides themselves, even in what areas they do live in. I hope that even in our houseless community, you continue to build that relationship. Relationship is very important, regardless where and with who. I just keep pushing forward. Yeah, I mean, let me tell you what, I would say them again, as a leader, it's not easy. It's hard, it's very difficult at times. But you gotta just be consistent. Always remain in that Aloha way and respect.
I believe what makes this place special is the people on it, and the one person that fight to keep us on it, which is Twinkle Borge. Thanks to her, if she didn't go fight for us, especially me and my kids, we will be struggled somewhere else. Living in the village is so beautiful because the people around me, they treat me like family. I gain trust with them. We work together, we share together, we sat together. Well, I believe everything we do together over here, just trying to get on our feet. And the routine that I do every day over here, which is make sure my place is clean for my children, make sure they have food on the table, make sure their roof is not leaking. If it's then, I'm not gonna sleep well. So I try my best to do what I should do over here. It is not hard that I cannot live a rake to rake. They cannot pick up rubbish. They cannot get water in a wagon. It's just a part of life. I believe everybody feels this way. There's hardship and there's easy time for everybody. So we appreciate what the people have been bringing to us and sharing us. I really thank them, especially to everybody, donors and like just donations. I am thankful. I am really thankful. Me feeling how me and my family talked about when we have time to move up to Malka, which is really great for them because they never been in a house. They came to Hawaii, live like, I don't know how to explain, because we came to Hawaii to live with families, but this is the family that found us. My experience of being the person who I am today, living with people that accept me as family. I am great. I am happy. I'm not lonely anymore. I don't really miss because now over here is mean a lot to me. Would be my home. I won't forget this place, the people over here.
James Pakele, what do I do? I'm the chief making any kind officer for DCS. I guess the president of DCS, Dynamic Community Solutions, which is the nonprofit entity made to support Pu'uhonua O Wai'anae and all of their efforts. I knew Twinkle for a while. I didn't really know much about, what she was doing, where she was living or anything. I never really paid it no mind. I went to the neighborhood board meeting and then we started attending those pretty regularly. But that first board meeting, I remember, following Twinkle and, started talking to her and sitting down and, trying to figure out something. I remember the whole discussion was about, what can we do? I started sitting in, advocating for them at, all these neighborhood board meetings, and I ended up sitting in meetings with Twinkle when they used to meet with the state, and slowly got more and more involved. So, we was even asking the state, can we sign a lease for the property? That way we can, legally lease the property. And so the nonprofit that was originally formed, even doing that was a whole long process. Andrea Tupola, she wanted to help us out and said, hey, come to my house and we'll figure this out, because everybody else that was telling us that they was gonna help us form this nonprofit was trying to charge us like $2,500 and we had no money. So when we met with the governor, we said, hey, we get this community here, and the value is in the community and the relationships that was built. And these guys are each other's support system. And, please just give us the opportunity to keep our community together. So at the end of 2018, after all of that, we started this fundraising campaign, and, they started putting us in touch with a whole lot of people. And we found out that there was so much support, and the end of 2019, we pretty much raised all of the money to purchase the land, which was $1.4 million. But we have all the infrastructure in now at this point. Royal Construction came over and gave us some good discounts, put in a lot of work, and so all the city, all the sewer lines and all the water lines are in. We're currently waiting for the OK to tie in to the bottled water supply and to tie into the actual city line. But everything on property is in. So we have, our very first haleaina, that, we call them, it's the kitchen and bathroom facility. And we are just about ready to build out more of these demo units. This is basically the bedrooms. We're able to purchase the property. So, we don't have an outstanding mortgage that we gotta push on, and collect a little bit from everybody for. So, the rents would probably be, something closer. We're trying to aim for about $250. We don't know what will come out exactly, but it'll pretty much be something like a utility share, right? Whatever the electric come out to, and the water and the sewer, whatever insurances we have to carry, and probably a little bit extra to, for future maintenance, and make sure we have, enough money to maintain, the facilities and fix whatever gets broken. So, we're gonna do about half of the property is gonna be used for agriculture, in different ways. So, either, harvesting or carrying or tending for the plants. If we can do a nursery where, people can, we can get guys to just seed some plants and, grow starters, and somebody go and sit down at the farmer's market with starters. Just finding out different ways that, even if the people that cannot come up with even that little bit of money, how can we exchange some of their labor and offset that even further? I'd really like to work on a way that we can get projects like this done in a reasonable time. But we need to make space for the people living on the beaches and in the parks. It's us as a community, I think, that need to, find different ways and places. It's just, but it's not that it can't be replicated. It can be replicated. Just the right, focus and guidance and help and resources absolutely can be replicated.